Hey, this is Julie. It's Friday, August 5th, 2:56 p.m. A few more minutes left in the market, but I figured we'd get started on our post-market wrap-up, and so that I can get to some commentary, which I have not heard yet, on this morning's jobs number. We had a jobs number that surprised the market, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Let me show you the crude market. The crude market turned around this morning at 9:45, 10 o'clock in the morning, after hitting my volatility level and turning. There was not anything in the middle to sustain, tell me that that up move was going to be sustained. And given the down thrust off of the jobs report number, um, I was really looking to short the market, thinking that, the commodities are going to sell off if the dollar is rallying. But it was just not a good market to trade crude. The big value area from yesterday was gigantic. The 25% value area was huge. So an up and down day. How to trade this, just FYI, just follow your candles. If you got to get the direction right. It was hard to do today. Like I said, because we did not have the weekly, daily 60, 15 in our favor. It was spotty. And you had to pay attention that that super trend band was the level. And when we got our confirmation of our pullback into the smaller time frame super trend, this was the clue right here to go ahead and get long. So you had a good flush here, retrace, and then you had a flush into the close. So a little bit of a tried to fake out. But the bar size is so important to get this right so that you can trade these levels and then get back in the direction after the get out soon and then get back in on a after the flush. So that was crude. Let's take a look at the euro. Where are you? Here you are. It flushed really well after that non-farm payroll number came out, and then did an afternoon retracement. It flushed a long way after that number came out. Here was the number, and then it really fell hard, and then did the bounce back. But definitely going to be taking the euro to the short side. Here it went back up to the VWAP 127 area. This was just an up and down day for the euro. The first part coming into the number being released, you wanted to take your inflections short or your reversals. And just an amazing, amazing opportunity on the euro. Let's take a look at the E-mini. The ES rallied up all day. Good news was good news today for the E-mini. And it was a slow train to Clarksville, I'll tell you that. But it made it up all day. In fact, got back to this July 31st high, broke that by a couple of ticks. But my one entry was this morning at 7:39, and it never got out of that entry. Look at that. Still going on that one entry. And that's what you call a slow trend. So beautiful. Just wonderful to capture those. So it doesn't really matter how slow or fast they move, just as long as they stay within the volatility bands. So looking for next week, this market, the E-mini, is overstretched, but the traders want this 2200. 22 ticks, 22 points away. I just, I'm just not sure if they're going to get it or not. So, not a lot of strength on this breaking this high. And it was a very, very slow, meandering rally. It was just which, a lot of momentum, but very slow. So we'll see next week. I can't wait to listen to some of the commentary. I have not listened to anything during the day, so I'll look forward to catching up on that so we can prepare for next week. Bonds really sold off. Again, that's something that has a long way to come down. The 2 year is what I should have had on my monitor to trade. The 10 year, turn this around. Had a little fake out breakout back to the VWAP, but just really signifying that this market has rolled over. So the 2 year, like I said, was the bond trade, but I don't know why I didn't have it on my data. I didn't have any data for it. So and it has come down to its volatility level and is bouncing, as you can see. But I think this is going to flush through that level, and we should look at that M top. Very classical chart pattern. So I'd be looking for some short bonds next week. So the short the euro, short the bonds, short the pound. Looks like the soybeans turned around. This makes for a really good trend, by the way. The beans have been very tradable. So if this has turned around, put this. It's a little bit too big of a candle. Bar size is so important. 5.5 is just a little bit too big. There we go. That's better. So you can see what a great move that was and how the super trend holds the move. And then when it breaks, you can get out. If it bounced here and holds, great. It failed. And then it flipped around. So it did flip, but earlier had a nice little run up. So I think it's trying to turn around is what I'm trying to say, so that we might see some positive action coming into that next week. So came off the high a little bit. We have our distribution candle. But it looks like this market's rolling over. So we'll see if these lower areas catch the trend and move it back higher. So I'm going to put the soybeans on my desktop, and I might even put the 2 year on it too. We'll see. So y'all have a great weekend, and take care. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.